Star Wars themed Google Hangouts Meet. So first off, here's how to find that app. In the self-service, you're going to look for the app called Hangouts Meet by Google. Install that on your iPad. Hopefully by the end of this, I'll have you at a minimum of a Baby Yoda level and a maximum of a Master Yoda level. Let's start with the easy stuff. Once you have downloaded this app and opened it up, it will look basically like this. And your icon would be right there, whatever you've picked for Google or Google picked for you. And I would personally pick meeting code, because then you get to choose either to type in a code somebody gave you, or you can make a code yourself instead of being randomly assigned one, like over here. Right. So you're in and you see this in the upper left-hand corner. Is that because your name is David Server? No, it's the code for the meeting that you are in right now. And there are 3 key buttons. That one, if it's red, that means your mic is muted. The middle one, that's to hang up on the whole conversation. And this one here is the camera. And I have my camera muted in this view also. The red means that it's basically muted. All right, so let's look at some more things. A little more advanced options besides just keeping yourself muted. All right, we're going to be looking at the 3 dots right up here. That brings up this menu right here, which is quite a few different things you can do. You can turn on captions. I recommend it. That way, when people are having a conversation, let's say there's 4 people talking, you can tell who said exactly what. Next, present screen is under this, which is a more advanced option. If you want to show the teacher what's on your screen and ask for help, that's a great way to do that. But right this second, I think we're going to try this one, and that one is for chat. So let's take a look at that. When you're in chat mode, this little thing will pop up on the side, and this is where people will add the information, basically hit enter, and that'll pop up in the little chat room. So here is back to that main screen, and we're going to talk about what this would do. That one basically shows you what each person who's in the room has for a little icon. And then if you want to take that person and let's say you want to freeze them on your screen so that you see their picture in the big view, then you do this. You move to clicking on that little push pin, and that basically pins them up as the main thing that you're going to display. This will keep the display from switching back and forth between whoever's talking. Sounds nice, but then when you got 5, 6 people talking, it gets pretty psychedelic as it switches really fast. On this screen, we're back to looking at the more advanced options. We're going to, having chosen the 3 dots, choose next, present screen. When you are presenting your screen, a lot of kids notice that there's an intermediary screen like this, and you have to hit start broadcast. And then it'll start a little counter, like 3, 2, 1, and then people are like, why isn't it showing anything? Well, you have to get it now off of this screen. So when you're starting your broadcast, you now have to hit the home button of your iPad. That'll get you out of that view and move you into the view of your whole home screen of your iPad. And there we can see, for instance, that I have Cat Translator downloaded. So, for example, you want to make sure that your screen has appropriate icons on there. Then here's where we are, and then the reason you chose present screen is probably because you want to use this one. Maybe use Notability and show the teacher what's happening. This in the corner here is basically saying, hey, by the way, you're still in this other app, Hangouts Meet by Google. All right, next one. So now you've hit your Notability and you're showing your teacher the problem that you're having, and you can of course write on there and say, this is the angle I'm trying to figure out, and you'd use the law of cosines, by the way. And to get out of this, because you're done, you've showed the teacher what you wanted to show them, you can either touch here or go back to the home screen and hit that little icon, and it'll ask you to stop broadcast. So you touch stop broadcast to actually get out of that view. Now, I've noticed that this often hangs out on your screen then for a few minutes while you are getting out of the stop broadcast, but everybody else will stop seeing your screen at least. So to sum it all up, I would basically pin down whoever's talking that you want to see, like if it's the teacher, maybe pin down the present mode. Keep your mic and your camera muted until you need to talk. When there's a lot of people, you really don't want to hear everybody's little brother running into the room and yelling, etc. If you do unmute your mic and say, "Excuse me," I'd be able to hear that and see on my closed captioning who just said that, and then I can call on you. If a new presenter does take over, like I demonstrated, you might want to push pin their square tile to keep them as the main view for you. I would put closed captioning on. That was the little CC, and it was under the 3 dots, or there's its separate little CC at the top. And that way, if the audio gets garbled, you can at least tell what Google's translation was of what they were saying. And even if your mics are muted and your cameras are muted, I would act like they weren't. Just because what if, by accident, you hit them and they turn them on? You want to be dressed appropriately and, not be displaying anything you don't want to display. Last thought, you can put a Post-it over your actual little camera feed on your iPad if you never want somebody to be able to see that unless you're like completely in control. It's a good safety measure. All right. So be patient with each other, with your teacher and with your fellow students. This is all going to be a little stressful, and hopefully by the end we will become masters of this whole distance learning thing. Hope you found this helpful. Have a great day.